Hello, everyone. Deanne here again. I wanted to start out by referring you to this little clip that I did a while back about what to expect with Restored, Equipped, and Ready to Rescue. I don't know all of the next steps and the next steps, but I do know this step and the urgency of it. So, over the next little while, I'll be sharing a series of teachings, roundtable discussions, interviews, some short devotionals, and arming you with tools, inspiration, and encouragement. Thoughts that will be a part of the bigger picture of Restored, Equipped, and Ready to Rescue. So, as you've just seen, I said, I don't know the next step, and the next step is going to be devotionals, maybe roundtable discussions, interviews, etc., etc. Well, this is a part of that, etc. I'm sitting here at my desk. I've got journals from like 2017 and even before that. And so as I was going through my notes today and just kind of looking, preparing for what's coming, and well, today I'm not sharing with you actually one of my notes specifically, but a note that I took because it was noteworthy by a pastor friend of mine. His name is Bob Jones, and he does this Rev Words blog. If you're interested, the link will be in this description. But I just thought I wanted to share this because as I'm walking with my Going Farther community over the summer about the process of growth, I wanted to share this. And so without more introduction of it, I'm going to just read the blog. And so the title, Bob Jones blogged about it in 2018, I believe. And the first little heading here is No Easy Way to Growth. And we all probably will know this concept, but today I just felt like it needs to be reiterated. A man found a cocoon of an emperor moth. Maybe I'm not saying that right. He observed a small opening in the cocoon. Fascinated, he sat and watched as the moth struggled to force its body through that little hole. Then all the effort stopped. The creature seemed to stall in making any progress. It appeared as if it had gotten as far as it could go, but could go no further. Then the man watching decided that he would help this moth, took a pair of scissors and snipped off the remaining bit of the cocoon. I know you know where I'm going with this. Then the moth emerged easily. However, it had a small swollen body and shriveled wings. He expected that any moment the wings would enlarge and expand and be able to support the body, which would then contract in time, but neither of those things happened. In fact, the little moth spent the rest of its short life crawling around with a swollen body and shriveled wings. It never was able to fly. What this man, in his kindness and haste, did not understand was the Creator's ways. The restricting cocoon and the struggle required for that moth to get through that tiny little opening was God's way of forcing fluids from its body into its wings, so it could go and be ready for flight once it achieved its freedom from that cocoon. I know you see what I'm trying to get at here, but in no way, I'm not a fan of struggles, as Pastor Bob says, but sometimes they are exactly what is needed. If you went through life, if I went through life without obstacles or struggle, it would cripple us. You would not even be as strong as what you have become without the struggle. And I know you know this, but without that struggle, that little moth could not fly. We cannot fly or overcome all that life throws at us without the struggle. So understanding that man, he didn't understand the process. So he debilitated that little moth and he couldn't fly. When we don't understand the process, we debilitate ourselves because we uproot and we pull out, we quit before God has a chance to really say, wait, there's something beautiful on the other side. So with that being said, I want to invite you in the process with me in the Going Farther community and the next next virtual meeting that I'm going through that process of where's my little acorn, what this little acorn goes through to reach a giant oak tree. The next step in that is this Sunday, July 19th, I believe. Yes, at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. But also, please RSVP. Mark your calendar for my event of the summer. It's a free event, and it's called Are You Equipped? Because all this processing and understanding the process, we can then understand and know, well, then if you're uprooting yourself through the process, you won't be equipped. So wherever you fall, whether you're just starting out or you're a leader that's been on the journey for years, you need to know if you are equipped and ready to rescue. So this is just another little part of that. I hope you've been encouraged today. I hope it just helps you to just hang on there and keep trusting the process.